I just want you to sort of think about what it actually means to get a degree and really what you're trying to do. So the first thing that I want you to get sort of your mind wrapped around is that the degree itself is not necessarily the objective of what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is actually think about where do you want to be in 10, 20 years from now, and then work your way towards getting that objective and getting to that particular place. And if the degree is the thing that you actually need to get to that one place, well, then you have to sort of pursue that. So I don't like the fact that you have to do things because that this is the way that everybody else has done them. So I want you to think about how can you actually do something that is going to work best for you and sort of maximize your own potential, whatever that looks for you, because everything we do in life is very costly, and you have to sort of think about what you want to do in life and prioritize those particular things. So I was thinking of maybe going through, trying to sort of convince you to go in different directions in what you're thinking about in terms of what your future would be. So if you want to teach and do research in a business school, then getting a PhD in business administration is probably the thing that you want to do. And there's going to be a lot of emphasis on doing research and trying to figure things out in terms of how the world works when you're doing research. If you just want to teach in a business school, I've said this many, many times, just get your MBA and get a couple of years experience, and you can teach in a lot of different business schools that are out there, a lot of different schools. If you want to teach economics and you want to go into kind of an economics field or something like that, and you're specializing in, right now you're doing your MBA in a finance degree of some sort, well, then you probably should apply to economics programs if you're going in that direction. There's a lot of stuff that there's overlaps between what we do in a business school and what they do in the economics programs. There's truly is a lot of overlap between them. If you might want to, if you want to go into industry, for example, and you're looking for kind of an edge with what you're trying to do, then you might want to just get like an MD, like a professional degree, with your MBA as well. So go back and get a medical degree. That works out really well for a lot of people in terms of your career prospects. But again, you have to think about what you want to do. And often a lot of people do PhDs in engineering if they want to get an edge. But here's the thing. You're probably not going to make that much more money by doing that compared to what you have as an MBA. You're already pretty in demand, and it's going to make yourself go into a much more of a niche field. So if you want to get into healthcare and science and technology, sometimes you have to do that. So there's some businesses that I've heard that you do need a PhD to sort of get in the door if you have your MBA and stuff like that, unless you go to a really, really top school. If you want to get into, I think like Genentech and some of the biotech firms and stuff like that, sometimes having a PhD is very valuable because it's valued in that company. If it's very extremely science oriented, it's going to be valued in that company. Just having an MBA is maybe not going to get you in the door, but that is, there's a few jobs that are like that. But if you want to go really hardcore science, then that might be the route to do it, is to go in that direction and go in that perspective. Now, if you want to, if you're trying to sort of figure out what you want to do and you're really lost, just like everybody else, and what I would get you to do, I'm a huge proponent of sort of getting other people's thoughts and other people's ideas and seeing what people say around what they're actually doing. So I would go on to LinkedIn, go on to different, find your professors, find people around and just have a conversation with them. Go to your local university. Some of you can actually, most of you could probably do that. You're close enough to your university that you can just kind of talk to different people. I know, so it's 2020, and hopefully you watch this video in 10 years, it's going to be different, but there's a pandemic going on, but you can maybe schedule something to have a serious conversation with somebody, or you can, hopefully this is beyond 2020 and all of this, everybody talks about 2020. So once you get through it, and it's 2021, 22, and things are back to normal. You can go and just go to a university and actually talk to people. Physically talk to people. I know that this seems like daunting. I don't know why people don't do this. Just walk around and talk to people. Go walk through a hall and, there's people that are around. Go talk to them. Just open up the door and say, hey, I'm kind of interested. I don't know what you're thinking about, but I'm thinking of doing a PhD. Can you help me out? Can you give me advice? People are going to be so amazing no matter where you are and what school you're at. If you just ask for that and you're just being polite, they're really truly going to help you out. So that's all I want to say with this is just go and do some great things with your life. Don't look at the degree as like this is the outcome. Look at the degree as a stepping stone towards something else that you want to do. And that's going to be a really good insight for you making a decision with your life and what you actually want to do. So if you are interested in getting a doctorate, and this is the sort of career that you want to go is to research and teaching, you might enjoy it. And so you might actually do that as well.